Good afternoon. The processional is about to begin. May I request everyone to take their seats. We would like to remind those who will be covering the program using video cameras to please stay in their assigned areas, the left and the right corridors, after the last row of the graduate seats. Photography with their personal cameras during the program will only be allowed from these designated areas. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the commencement exercises of 2018 of the Community of Learners School for Children. We are proud to present the candidates for graduation of the high school level. They are presented by their homeroom teacher, Maria Maite de la Rosa. John Joshua S. Akam. Jose Luis C. Aguilar. Gabriel Santino H. Albar. Ridge Joshua C. Airoso. Alisa Beatriz S. Benaventura. Miguel Inigo J. Cuerpo. David Christian P. De Leon. Jose Lorenzo D. De Rueda. Sabina Daniela G. Espiritu. John Patrick V. Gonzalez. Enrico Luis B. Justiniano. Gabriela D. L. Gutierrez. Joyce Noel L. Lara. Gabriel Francisco G. Leiva. Clemens Jose T. Pobre. Gabriel Luis D. Quizon. Regina Lane V. Tan. Vincent S. Verendia. Aaron Kane B. Verhel. Cesar Julian J. Zagala. Ang lahat po ay tumayo para sa pambansang awit.
Bayang magiliw, pelas ng silanganan, alab ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupig, di ka pasisiin. Sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong bughaw, may dilagang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kislap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagniningning, ang bituin at araw niya, kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng walhati't pagsinta, buhay ay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya na pag may mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
We would first like to focus on our grade 12 students. Several students of the senior class worked on this message from the high school graduating class of 2018. I would like to call Sabina Daniela G. Espiritu and Gabriel Luis D. Quezon to share their message with us. Sabina joined COLF in 6th grade, while GQ has been in COLF since he was 5 years old.
Hello. Good afternoon, parents, relatives, teachers, friends. The film Pocahontas had this famous line, "The right path is not always the easiest one." This rings true for our class. Through the years, we went through a lot of difficulties, but the class managed through it all, overcoming every hurdle and every challenge. Our class is far from perfect, but we stand here now as one. The problems we faced, some of which we brought upon ourselves, taught us to support each other, learn to help each other out, and pick each other up in those times we failed, committed mistakes, or felt defeated. We were there for each other in times of sadness too. Like a good soldier that never leaves a man behind, we stuck it out.
One of the fondest memories we will cherish was winning first place in a choral recitation competition with the late teacher Dan, our 10th grade advisor, Dan, who showed us how patience and persistence pay off. We will always remember him for never giving up on us and making us work as a team even though we were an extremely difficult class to handle. Being in this class and in community of learners taught us to open ourselves to different kinds of people. We learned to respect each other and not to be judgmental. In fact, we are proud of one another. This acceptance gave some of us the confidence to venture outside and engage in meaningful activities with other people. In school, it enabled some of us to be better teammates, group members. We learned to work and talk with other students more effectively to achieve our goals. Moreover, we learned to appreciate other members of the team. GQ, for instance, would like to personally thank Jacob Pajarillo, a grade 9 student who would always be the first one in the gym and last one out, motivating GQ and the others to keep on training. From GQ to Jacob,
You the real MVP. To the coaches from your grade 12 players, thank you for helping us become more responsible. Thank you for instilling in us the importance of studies, as it had been clear time and again, studies will always have to come first. In COLF, we were taught how to solve problems. We were taught how to adapt to a situation and become innovative. We were always challenged to figure out different ways of solving problems. Teachers took time to talk to us and help us see what needed to be changed or what had to be improved. This also meant learning from our mistakes. Here in COLF, failure was used to teach us important lessons in life. We learned to be humble and to acknowledge our faults and be open to the ideas and support of other people. We also learned to be more resilient by not sulking too long over the past or being too anxious about the future. To push forward, we simply have to maintain a positive attitude, work with determination, manage our time, persevere, and never quit. We know now for sure that laziness will not get us anywhere. To succeed, we have to work hard. Another important ingredient to success that our class definitely has a lot of is a great dose of humor. Somehow, we always manage to laugh. How can we forget Julian's answer when asked during an assembly? What word meant family in Lilo and Stitch? Confidently, he replied, "Hakuna Matata," from Lion King. The answer was Ohana, but to us it didn't matter anymore. It was one hilarious moment we all shared, and since then we have called our class Hakuna Matata. No worries.
One very significant lesson that came up repeatedly as we wrote our thoughts about school was how important it is to make the right choices. If all the others are doing wrong, we still have to choose to do right. For every word or action, we have to think about every possible outcome and decide if it will be beneficial for ourselves and the people around us. This is vital if we want to become role models for others. As March Hare of Alice in Wonderland puts it, if you don't think, then you shouldn't talk. COLF taught us the meaning of commitment and dedication. As we became more deeply and actively engaged in the different school communities and after-school programs like the varsity team, the choir, and the dance team, we became more passionate about the things we were doing. Our chosen involvements became expressions of our multiple intelligences. It made us want to improve ourselves and to use our talents to inspire, guide, and help others improve as well. As leaders, we were determined to bring out the best in everyone we were directly working with and responsible for. Our commitment to the committee, the team, or the project enabled us to overcome obstacles and to keep on going, no matter how hard it got. For those of us in the Performing Arts Committee, we will always look back with joy at having been able to stage excerpts from the Broadway musical Hairspray. It was a dream come true, and we will always cherish the collaboration that transpired with the artist pool, the dance team, and the choir.
For us in the varsity team, we will always be thankful to COLF for giving us something to be passionate about.
It is not always easy to be true to oneself, but it is in this community of learners that we found the courage and the confidence to be our true selves. We learned to face our fears, to forgive, to trust, and to share ourselves, to be who we truly are.
As we are now about to move to the next chapter of our lives, we take with us our hopeful hearts. As young Filipinos, we are here to serve our country. We are here to ensure that we learn from our nation's history. We are the future. Therefore, we have to decide if we are going to continue living in this current system or we are going to do something better. We will choose wisely and always decide what is best for our country. We do hope for a brighter future, a future where the environment is given importance, a future where democracy is upheld, a future where violence is not used and justified as a means of achieving a goal, a future where the voices of people are heard. At the same time, we do recognize that we are part of the change we want. So as Filipino citizens, we live not with a sense of entitlement, but with a clear understanding of the discipline that is needed to create the changes we want. We take action as we have done so through every opportunity that came our way. In Community of Learners, the High School Social Action Program, or the HACCP, and the Community Partnership Committee became vehicles through which we were able to do our little share in touching lives and responding to situations that called for concrete actions. We visited orphanages, home for the elderly, and conducted playgroups in communities. We learned to connect, appreciate people, and value precious moments of being one with them. In times of natural disasters and even tragedies, such as the plight of the people of Marawi, we have always been encouraged to help out and be responsive. By mobilizing the school community, we extend ourselves in aiding those who are in need. We learn to be more compassionate, and we now intend to continue with these acts of kindness, even with the smallest gestures we can do.
We value our education and hope to finish school so we can land good jobs because one day, we hope to be able to take care of you, our parents. We owe it all to you, our shelter, food, clothes, the money you invested to give us good education, and all the loving care we received. We know there were times when we fought and we said words that hurt you, even if we did not intend to. But please know,
We really love you with all our hearts.
For Community of Learners, our hope is for you to continue and thrive. We hope you continue teaching children not just academic skills, but good values and life skills as you have done for and with us.
We hope you continue to inspire more children to work and study. We hope you continue your way of teaching and handling students. We hope you continue caring for students. We hope you continue to help others. We hope COLF remains forever. To our parents and teachers, we are proudly to say,
We made it.
Maraming salamat, Sabina at GQ. Mahirap ba yun? Para kay GQ, oo. We consider parents as our most important martyrs from the time their children are admitted as students in the community of learners up to their graduation. I would now like to call Maria Jocelyn Q. Pobre, CJ and Cyrus Lola to share her thoughts about today's celebration and being part of the COL community since CJ's early childhood years. CJ is graduating today and Syra is entering senior high school this coming school year. John D has always been supportive of school events such as homeroom potlucks and Christmas bonfires. John D?
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Teacher Fanny, Teacher Maite, Teacher Marge, and all the teachers, the parents, the guardians, the lolas and lolas, the family, and especially to the young hopefuls, the very first batch to graduate under the K-12 program. I'm betting that many of you are feeling that you are now ready to face the new challenges and conquer a whole new world. But before I go to that, let me just step back a bit and reminisce. Okay. Like many of you, I have been part of the Community of Learners family for a long time now. And I've been part, as Teacher Marge said, of a number of the activities here. Yes, the first thought that comes to mind is the homeroom potluck where the children, the parents, and the teachers get to mingle and know each other better. There's also the family day where we get to let our hair down, be competitive, and try to excel in the various physical activities like racing and tug of war. And who can forget the various bonfire programs where the students get to showcase their talents in singing, dancing, declaiming, and playing the instruments. And how about the field trips where you got to know the different communities? And of course, there were the various socio-economic activities where you got to experience, not only read about, but experience life of the more underprivileged. There was also the completion of tasks. Ouch, but this had to be done. Diba? And as you mentioned earlier, the right path doesn't necessarily mean the easy path. Okay? So, and there was also the parents and teachers conferences, and these had been for me really a struggle because I had an 8 to 5 work. And my schedules didn't really fit in with the schedules of the teachers. But guess what? The teachers always made the adjustment. And in my case, I always had my PTC on a Saturday where I didn't have work. Salamat po sa teachers for always making the adjustment. And I would like to mention the various changes in the venue of COLF. First, it was in Castilla, tama ba? Then it was in Averilla, and now we are in the Montessori Lane. Ba? First thought, where's the stability? On second thought, however, I'd like to think that a structure that does not make a school. What is essential is the people behind, the founders, the teachers, you students, the parents, and your family, the kuyas and the ates, and everybody who really wanted the best for you. So it's not the edifice, it's not the structure, it's the people who make up the school. And finally, I would like to address the real stars of the show, the students, the graduates. What are you feeling now? Perhaps many of you are heaving a sigh of relief, a big sigh actually, but this is not really the end. It is just the beginning of a new chapter in your life. And as you face this new chapter, I hope that you will not forget the lessons learned, be it academic or otherwise. Value the friends that you have made. Cherish your memories, because memories are not always about the past. Memories are also about the future. And as you go out and spread your wings, carry with you the badge of your school. Carry with you the enthusiasm. And of course, your idealism, because that is what you have. That is your edge over us, the oldies. We may have the experience, but you have the idealism of youth. Capitalize on that. And lastly, go out and spread your wings, but I give you a challenge. As you spread your wings, try to be the best ever. Try to be an inspiration. Make your parents proud. Make your school proud. Make the community of learners proud. Thank you and good luck, students.
Thank you, John D. We would now like to award the diplomas to the candidates for graduation of the high school level. Handa ka na? Okay. We would like to request the parents of each candidate to come forward when their child's name is called. Please meet them on the right side of the hall. Teacher Maite, our high school coordinator and the graduating class homeroom teacher, will hand the diploma to the parents who in turn will award this to their child. Teacher Maite will be assisted by Teacher Ruth Catalbas, our high school language coordinator. This is an affirmation of our partnership with you throughout your child's schooling in COL. We will be presenting special awards to those students who have continued to make the extra effort to nurture their gifts and intelligences, and in the process have been able to achieve outstanding work or demonstrate excellence in their respective areas of strength. May I request teachers Elfio, JF, Manny, and Andrew to assist in presenting the special awards. Over time, we have introduced some new features both in our education program and our ways of evaluating these. For the past years, we have presented awards that were based on specific criteria developed by a committee composed of teachers and administrators. We also introduced more awards that we believe are consistent with our multiple intelligences framework and that reaffirms our commitment to inclusive education. COLF, as a pioneer of inclusive education, believes that genuine inclusion should provide for broader criteria for giving special recognition to students who go out the extra mile to further nurture their gifts and intelligences. In the process, they are able to achieve outstanding work or demonstrate excellence in their respective areas of strength. I'd like to call John Joshua S. Akang. Joshua will be receiving an Achievement Award in Sports. The Achievement Award in Sports is given to the graduate who consistently demonstrated interest and diligence, nurtured and generously shared these outstanding talents with the school community and ably represented the school as a valued member of the basketball team. Jose Luis C. Aguilar. Luis is also receiving an Achievement Award in Sports Basketball. Gabriel Santino H. Albar. Gabby will be receiving an academic award in Communication Arts English, Research and Media Literacy. Academic awards are given to graduates who have consistently strove for excellence and high academic standards, demonstrated exceptional interest, competence, and achievements in all aspects of a specific academic area. Ridge Joshua C. Airoso. Alisa Beatriz S. Buenaventura. Miguel Inigo J. Cuerpo. Miguel will be receiving an Achievement Award in the Performing Arts Dance. The Achievement Award is given to the graduate who consistently strove for excellence, consistently demonstrated interest and diligence, nurtured and generously shared these outstanding talents in the performing arts, music, dance, theater arts, and drama with the school community. David Christian P. De Leon. David will be receiving an Achievement Award in Sports. Jose Lorenzo D. De Rueda. Jolo will be receiving an academic award in music. Sabina Daniela G. Espiritu. John Patrick V. Gonzalez. Patrick will be receiving an Achievement Award in the Performing Arts, Music, Dance, Theater Arts, and Drama. Gabriela D.L. Gutierrez. Ella will be receiving an Achievement Award in the Performing Arts, Theater Arts, and Drama. Enrico Luis B. Justiniano. Kokoy will be receiving an Achievement Award in the Performing Arts, Music, and Theater Arts and Drama. Joyce Noel L. Lara. Joyce will be receiving an Achievement Award in the Performing Arts, Theater Arts, and Drama, and the Student Leadership Award. Gabriel Francisco G. Leiva. Gab will be receiving an Achievement Award in the Performing Arts Music. Clemens Jose T. Pobre. Gabriel Luis D. Quizon. GQ will be receiving an Achievement Award in Sports Basketball. Regina Lane V. Tan. Vincent S. Verendia. Aaron Kane B. Verhel. Aaron will be receiving an Achievement Award in Sports Football. And Cesar Julian J. Zagala. Julian will be receiving an Academic Achievement Award. At this point in the program, I would like to call on Teacher Fanny de Los Angeles, Bautista, School Director, to present more special awards. After years of observing and witnessing the development of our young students, we would now like to give special recognition to those students who have exceeded expectations in consistently striving for academic excellence and for sharing their gifts and talents with the school community and beyond. May I call on Sabina Daniela G. Espiritu. Sabina will be receiving an Academic Achievement and Student Leadership Award. Gusto ko rin pong tawagin si Joyce Noel L. Lara. Iginagawad ang batang COL kay Joyce Noel L. Lara sa pagkilala sa kanya bilang mag-aaral na kumakatawan sa mga simulain at adhikain na itinataguyod ng Community of Learners sa pamamagitan ng kanyang ipinakitang determinasyong mapaglinang ang angking talino at bukal na pagbabahagi ng sarili sa pamamagitan ng kanyang mga natatanging kakayahan. Sa mula't mula, hindi lang nilinang ni Joyce ang kanyang mga kakayahan para sa sariling pag-unlad, bagkus ay ginamit niya ang mga ito upang mapaglingkod. Nagabayan niya ang kanyang mga kasamahan sa mga gawaing dapat matupad at nahikayat ang ibang mga mag-aaral na makilahok at makibahagi. Hindi niya inalintana ang bigat o dami ng gawain, mag-isa man o may kasama, may nakatingin man o wala, tanging ang pagtupad ng pananagutang tinanggap at mga adhikaing hinagad, maabot ng pangunahing dahilan ng kanyang pagpapasya at pagkilos. Ang gawad batang COL ay iginagawad din kay John Patrick V. Gonzales. Sa pagkilala sa kanya bilang mag-aaral na kumakatawan sa mga simulain at adhikain na tinataguyod ng Community of Learners sa pamamagitan ng kanyang ipinakitang pag-unlad patungo sa pagmamalas ng tiwala sa sarili at pagkukusang maglingkod sa anumang paraang abot ng kanyang makakaya. Kanyang pinatotoo ang mahalagang pagbabago na maaaring maganap sa isang taong bukas matuto, nagsusumikap at nagtitiwala sa sarili at sa kapwa. Nagpakita siya ng determinasyon, mapaglinang ang angking kakayahan sa sining at bukas loob na maibahagi ito sa pamayanan. Naging masigasig na miyembro siya ng CL Choir, Dance Team at Performing Arts Committee. Madalas din siyang nagkusang magboluntaryo at sa tuwing may pagkakataong makatulong, hindi siya nagdadalawang isip maghandog ng sarili. Palakpakan natin po ang tatlong Maraming salamat. The traditional part of the commencement exercises is giving our graduates the opportunity to show their appreciation and gratitude to their families and friends for the many years of love and support they have given. May I call on the graduates of the high school level?
naglalaro ng taguan. Sabay takbo doon sa grotto ang magtataguan. Kasama kaibigan, itinuring ng pamilya. Sa pangalawang tahanan, sabay-sabay isisigaw. Batang siya ako! Batang siya ako! Batang siya ako! Kaya iaalay ang kanta para sa inyo. Si El Paalam. Pasahin natin pinagsamahan. Si El Paalam. Hindi ka malimutan. Si El Paalam. Si El Paalam. Si El Paalam. Let it go. Let it roll right off your shoulder. Don't you know?
Thank you, graduates. I would now like to call on Teacher Fanny de los Angeles, our Executive Director, for the concluding message on behalf of the community of learners.
Good afternoon, parents, family members, and graduates. You are our first batch of grade 12 graduates. Actually, many firsts with your batch. Some joyful, some very painful. Losses, some stupid, like the laughing gas, the vaping. But still, it's a pleasure and a relief to be here with you today. When we started Community of Learners 35 years ago, we framed the goals that we set for our students vis-a-vis traditional schools to help parents understand that in addition to the essential competencies like the 3 R's, social studies as the core of our curriculum, the arts, visual, music, dance, the life skills, we also emphasize supporting the development of children's creativity, their critical thinking and problem-solving skills, their social and emotional intelligence, and their commitment to the learners' community and other communities to which they belong. At the outset, it was very clear to us that doing well in school and in life depends on much more than your children's ability to learn quickly and easily. When the K-12 program was launched a few years ago, we welcomed a few features of the program, but we're more frustrated with the details. First, the rationale and the philosophy for the K-12 program was reminiscent of the contents of COLF's original brochure from 1983. Finally, the Philippine educational system shared our beliefs and goals, at least on paper and in the DepEd website. But we were really frustrated about the curriculum changes that were still not truly developmentally appropriate and far from being integrated, further reinforcing a linear and fragmented approach. Creativity expert Sir Ken Robertson, in one of the most widely viewed TED Talks, called Bring on the Learning Revolution, questioned this idea of linearity, that it starts here and you go through a track, and if you do everything right, you will end up set for the rest of your life. Personally, that worked for me. At age 21, I was offered a teaching job at my alma mater, UP, and from then on, it was a straightforward track, teaching, education, children, child development, media, all around children. But for many people, lives tell a different story. Whether implicitly or explicitly, life is not linear, it's organic. We create our lives symbiotically as we explore our talents in relation to the circumstances they help to create for us. But somehow we have become obsessed with this linear narrative. And probably the pinnacle for education is getting our children to college. And we are obsessed with getting people to college, completing tertiary education at a specific time. Robertson pointed out that human communities depend upon a diversity of talent, not just one definition or conception of ability. And the main challenge is to be able to change our sense of ability and of intelligence. And that is where the matter of linearity really is the problem. His main point is that we are missing the mark if we limit ourselves to looking at education as if it's about coming to school, get the information, and not about experiential learning, empowering student voice, and embracing failure. And the Philippine education system still does not value these qualities. It still promotes the culture of one right answer. But now more than ever, despite the additional hurdles posed by the secondary school curriculum of the K-12 program that we managed to work with, we find affirmation for what we have set out to do for and with your children. Allow me to explain. Sergey Brin and Larry Page, the computer scientists who founded Google, were firmly convinced that only technologists can understand technology. So when they started in 1998, they set their hiring algorithms to prioritize high-performing computer scientists, students from the elite science universities. In 2013, they launched Project Oxygen, and that involved looking back at all their personal data from 1998, which was year one, the hiring, the firing, the promotion of employees. And guess what? They were shocked to find out that STEM expertise, or science, technology, and mathematics expertise, ranked lowest among the most important qualities of their top employees. The top 7 characteristics of their most valued employees are: 1, being a good coach; 2, communicating and listening well; 3, possessing insights into others, including the different values and points of view. Next, having empathy toward and being supportive of one's colleagues; being a good critical thinker and problem solver; and being able to make connections across complex ideas. These findings are not isolated. They are consistent with those of the employer-led Partnership for 21st Century Learning, who described the foundation skills for worker success as the 4 C's: collaboration, communication, critical thinking, and creativity. And the Becoming Brilliant book, which adds to those 4, content and confidence, to make them the 6 C's. But to be more fully consistent with COLF's philosophy and our programs, I would add 4 more to make that 10 C's: courage, commitment, character, and compassion. And it's on these last 4 C's, my dear grade 12 students and parents, that I would like to focus on today. Let's talk for a moment about confidence and courage. Both have the most to do with getting better at doing the things that you really care about. Real confidence is about modeling ongoing learning. Eduardo Briceño spoke about 2 zones where we tend to be as we strive to be better at things we care about. One is the learning zone. It's when our goal is to improve. Then we do activities that are designed for improvement. We concentrate on what we haven't mastered yet, which means we have to expect to make mistakes, knowing that we will learn from them. That is very different from what we do when we're in the performance zone. That is when our goal is to do something as best as we can to execute. Then we concentrate on what we have already mastered and we try to minimize mistakes. So how does the learning zone look like? There's the example of Demosthenes, a political leader and a Greek orator and lawyer. To become great, he didn't spend all his time just learning to be an orator or a lawyer. That was his performance zone. Instead, he did activities designed for his improvement. He had a twitch. When he spoke, his shoulder would go up like that. And he knew that in the courtroom, that would look funny or distracting. So to practice, he practiced in front of the mirror and put a sword on this side and spoke and spoke. Every time his shoulder went up, it hurt until he removed that twitch. Or he had this like this. So he put stones in his mouth to practice speaking. And he knew that in a courtroom it could be noisy. So he went to the ocean and practiced speaking above the waves until he could hear his own voice so that he could be heard above the din of a noisy courtroom. Okay. But let me choose an example closer to your generation. When Beyoncé is on tour, during the concert, she's in her performance level, zone. But every night, she goes back to her hotel room, she goes right back to viewing, to her learning zone. She watches a video of the show that just ended. She takes notes, careful notes. She identifies opportunities for improvement for herself, for her dancers, her camera staff. And the next morning, everyone receives pages of those notes. And it has to be applied to the next performance. So it's a spiral to ever-increasing capabilities. So we need to know what you seek to learn, when we seek to perform, and when we need to spend time doing both. The way to high performance is to alternate learning zone, performance zone, building our skills in the learning zone, then applying those in our performance zone. And those should be part of our lives. In part, it's difficult to do both, to stay in the learning zone, because we live in a society where there's a stigma to failure. Growing up, most kids experience that a failing grade would mean at least a sermon or the withdrawal of privileges, or more drastically, transferring out to another school. As adults, we fear failure to the max. A canvas that remains unpainted, a goal that we don't attempt, a business unlaunched or closed down, a book unwritten, a song unsung. It's a looming fear of failure. Okay. Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx, went from selling fax machines door to door to becoming the world's youngest self-made female billionaire. She credits her success to one question that her father would ask her each week. What have you failed at this week? In asking his children what they failed at each week, Sarah's father gave them the breathing room to tackle interesting problems and, yes, to fail. To him, not trying was far more disappointing than failure itself. This is not an endorsement of failure for the sake of failure, guys. Failure by itself isn't enough. You must reflect on it, learn from it, and improve on your next attempt. Hence, the review question, have you failed at this week? What have you failed at this week? Experimentation without fruitfully learning from your mistakes is an unacceptable waste of time and your parents' money, and later on, company's time, money. What if instead of spending our lives doing, performing, we spent more time exploring, asking, listening, experimenting, reflecting, striving, and becoming? And what if we got clear within ourselves and with our teammates about when we seek to learn and when we seek to perform, so that our efforts can become more consequential, our improvement never-ending, and our best even better? Now, courage. What do I mean by it? It means having grit. Grit. Lakas, tapang, at tatag ng loob. It means having both passion and perseverance for very long-term goals. Stick-to-itiveness was a term I learned and internalized in the late 70s as a student teacher. Teacher psychologist Angela Lee Duckworth and colleagues in graduate school studied kids and adults in all kinds of extremely challenging settings, asking these questions. Who is successful here and why? They studied cadets at West Point Military Academy who would stay in military training or drop out. They tried to predict which children would advance farthest in the National Spelling Bee. They studied rookie teachers working in tough neighborhoods who would complete the school year and who among them will be the most effective at improving learning outcomes for their students. They studied salespeople in private companies, looking into who was going to keep their jobs, who was going to earn the most money. In all these very different contexts, one characteristic emerged as a significant predictor of success. They learned that it was not so much social intelligence, neither was it good looks, nor physical health, and no, it was not even IQ. It was grit. Tapang at lakas at tatag ng loob. What they learned and what many other studies have shown is that just being talented does not make you gritty. The data shows very clearly that there are many talented individuals who simply do not follow through on their commitments. In fact, the data shows that grit is usually unrelated or even inversely related to measures of talent. Grit is having stamina. Grit is sticking with your future, day in, day out, not just for the week, not just for the month, but for years, and working hard, really hard to make that future a reality. Grit is living life like it's a marathon, not a sprint. Grit is showing up daily, being present in the present and giving it your all. So how do we build courage and confidence in our students? Since 27, Carol Dweck of Stanford University has been writing and teaching the world about the idea called the growth mindset, which is another affirmation of our chosen directions. This is the belief that the ability to learn is not fixed, that it can change with your effort. The power of believing that you can improve. She wrote about a high school in Chicago where students had to pass a certain number of courses to graduate. And if they did not pass a course, they got the grade, not yet. She said it was fantastic because if you get a failing grade, you think, I'm nothing, I'm nowhere. But if you get the grade, not yet, you understand that you're on a learning curve. It gives you a path into the future, just the words yet or not yet. Dr. Dweck explained, giving kids greater confidence gave them a path into the future that creates greater persistence, and we can actually change students' mindsets. And I've experienced that this year with some of you. Students with a growth mindset, the idea that abilities can be developed. Their brain is on fire with yet. They engage deeply, they process the error, they learn from it, and they correct it. When I read her work back then, I thought to myself, well, we have been doing that in COLF for quite a while. Indeed, we have tried to praise you wisely, not just praise your intelligence or your talent, but the process that you engage in, your effort, your strategies, your focus, your perseverance, your improvement. We taught you that every time you push out of your comfort zone to learn something new and difficult, the neurons in your brain can form new, stronger connections. Over time, you can get smarter. The kind of valuing process we have always believed would bring up students who are hardy and resilient. So yes, growth mindset is a great idea for building grit, but we need more. We need to take our best ideas, our strongest intuitions, and we need to test them. We need to measure whether we've been successful, and we have to be willing to fail, to be wrong, to start over again with lessons learned. How do you plan to use your life to positively impact other people? This brings me to the last two C's, character and compassion. And for this, I turn to my favorite author for the past year, R.J. Palacios, author of Wonder, the story of Augie, a boy with craniofacial condition attending school for the first time as a 5th grader. Watch the movie. The best way to measure how much you've grown isn't by inches or the number of laps you can now run around the track or even your grade point average, but those things do matter and are important to be sure. It's what you've done with your time, how you've chosen to spend your days, and whom you've touched this year. That to me is the greatest measure of success, she wrote. Courage, kindness, friendship, character. These are the qualities that define us as human beings and propel us on occasion to greatness. If every person in this room made it a rule that wherever you are, whenever you can, you would try to act a little kinder than is necessary, the world really would be a better place. Kinder than is necessary. Because it's not enough to be kind. One should be kinder than needed. We carry with us as human beings not just the capacity to be kind, but the very choice of kindness. And you, my dear grade 12 students, are kind people, good people, and I am grateful for the chance to be with you. We at COLF thank your parents for the chance to take care of each of you and teach you. The things we do outlast our mortality. The things we do are like monuments that people build to honor heroes after they've died. Only instead of being made of stone, they are made out of the memories people have of you. I keep a wonder calendar in the school office, and April is Cherishing Each Other Month. Like I told you, you're a class, a group that's been through tough times. Remember this? Teacher Andrew showed them. Okay. I want you to remember that. Okay. Don't delete it from your inbox. Okay. We learn from our failures. We learn from our mistakes. Okay. Pinagpuyatan natin. Okay. I told your children, don't gloss over the corrections because looking at the mistakes is where learning comes from. in the beginning, they really studiously avoided looking at the errors. They just, because of the function of just adapt correction, they simply adapted my correction. But I had to compel them to look at what was wrong, okay? To overcome that sense of shame of, no, that is the process of learning to think, to clarify, and to write well. Okay, so we went through that. We mastered the art of communication, or I tried to help them master the art of written communication through email. And it was a lot of work for all of us. But I think that is what made you, the first grade 12 batch, earn a special place in my heart. Which brings me to my final point. This past year with you, I have tried to express my love for you. Tough love like that, it had to be. But today, on your last day as our grade 12 students, let me tell you, in case nobody told you yet today, that they loved you. Remember that I do, and I always will. Okay, I'd like to call on the COLF teachers for our gift of song. Magko-concert kami, ha? Hindi, joke. Joke.
Come stop your crying, it will be alright. Just take my hand and hold it tight. I will protect you from all around you. I will be here, don't you cry. For one so small, you seem so strong. My arms will hold you, safe and warm. This bond between us can't be broken. I will be here, don't you cry. kailan lang ang mga pangarap nyo'y kay hirap abutin. Dahil sa tiyaga, napunta kayo sa inyong nais marating. Kaya't itong awiting aming inaawit, nais ay kayo ang handugan. Parang kailan lang kayo ay mga batang musmos pa lamang. Dahil sa inyo, ang aming isip at puso ay napagyaman. Kaya't itong awiting aming inaawit, nais ay kayo ang handugan. Tatandaan, lilipas rin kami, ngunit mayroong awiting iiwanan sa inyo. Alaala, dahil minsan tayo'y nagkasama. Parang kailan lang ang mga awitin nyo ay ayaw pakinggan. Kami naririto, narinig ang tinig nyo at naintindihan. Dahil dito'y ibig namin kayong ituring na matalik na kaibigan. Tatandaan, lilipas rin kami, ngunit mayroong awiting iiwanan sa inyo. Alaala, dahil minsan tayo'y nagkasama. Tatandaan, lilipas rin kami, ngunit mayroong awiting iiwanan sa inyo. Alaala, dahil minsan tayo'y nagkasama. Dahil minsan may naialay sa inyo.
To conclude the program, the graduates will sing the CL song. But before that, and as we sing, we will send you our pabaon. For the graduates, we give you our handmade tokens, the dream catcher with the peace sign in the middle for our shared vision of a peaceful and our dream of a peaceful society, a country that is kind. A heart, remember, follow your heart, be kind, be compassionate. Star, shine, shine wherever you are, and persevere. And leaf is supposed to be a symbol in ancient civilizations of wisdom and knowledge and learning. And of course, the dreams, bad dreams, the challenges that will come your way. This is your lucky charm. For the parents, we give you another worry doll. For those who have been with us from elementary, you received one. Now, as they enter a new phase of life, we give you our version of the Peruvian worry doll. Keep it under your pillow, and the worries are supposed to go away as you are anxious about their future. iba yung kanilang philosophy. Sabi nga ni GQ, hakuna matata sila. Okay. So, magkaiba yung kanilang direksyon. Okay, so, graduates, please stand up. Sing for your parents. The CL song.